let's take a look at constitutional rights and administrative law. Constitutional law currently affords individuals broad rights in the context of their interactions with public administrators. At all levels of government, public administrators, accountants with clients and customers, coworkers, contractors, patients confirmed to the public mental health facilities, prisoners, and individuals involved in street level administrative regulation are significantly bounded by constitutional law. Public administrative relationships with clients and customers are governed by the constitutional doctrines of equal protection, new property, and unconstitutional conditions. New property theory treats an individual's governmental benefits as his or her own property rather than as a privilege or a gratuity. As such, the benefits are covered by the due process clauses of the Fifth and Fourteenth Amendments, which protect against the deprivation of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Consequently, welfare benefits, public housing, public education, and a variety of occupational and other licenses and similar benefits cannot be withheld or terminated during the period for which they've been offered without a fair procedure. The conditions attached to government benefits sometimes interfere with clients' and customers' constitutional rights. The unconstitutional conditions doctrine seeks to limit a government's ability to use client and customer relationships as leverage for regulating behavior that it could not reach directly without violating individuals' constitutional rights. Public employees first began to gain significant constitutional rights in the context of their employment as equal protection was applied to public employment. Civil service jobs were considered part of the new property, and the unconstitutional conditions doctrine was invoked to protect public employees' First Amendment rights. Public employees enjoyed broad First Amendment rights to speak openly on matters of policy, politics, administration, and public affairs. Under public service models, a major limitation of their freedom of speech are as follows. First, in order to enjoy constitutional protection, expressive activity must be in a manner of public concern, that is, of public interest. Second, speech as part of partisan political campaigns may be banned. And third, speech, including written documents produced pursuant to work assignments like work product searches, may be the basis of adverse personnel actions such as demotion or dismissal. Public employees retain protections against unreasonable searches and seizures even while at work in public buildings. The threshold question is whether the employee has a reasonable expectation of privacy under the circumstances. That is, an expectation of privacy that society is prepared to support according to judges. Absent such an expectation, public employers are free to search an employee's workspace, desk, files, computer, and so on. Civil service systems typically provide public employees with new property rights to their jobs. Consequently, procedural due process protects them against arbitrary, capricious, or abusive dismissal or demotion. Depending on the circumstances, a public employee may not have the right to procedural due process prior to suspension without pay for wrongdoing. However, the employee should be offered a hearing of some kind within a reasonable period of time after the suspension takes effect. Contractors also have constitutional protections against governmental infringements of their rights. Some of these are well settled. Governments, as an example, cannot engage in individuals' racial, ethnic, or gender discrimination while contracting out. Street level public employees engage in face to face regulatory interaction with the public. They are the police, social workers, public school teachers, public health workers, health and safety inspectors, and employees who first tend to work in the absence of close supervision, second, have a great deal of discretion in dealing with members of the public, And third are largely self reporting, as well as fourth are often in a position to have a substantial positive or negative impact on the individuals with whom they deal.